Welcome back to the Level 7 Omega Protocol playthrough of Mission 1. It is now the Overseer's turn, and the first thing we need to do with the Overseer's turn is refresh the dashboard. So if we look at the refresh ability on Cave-In, it means remove 5 from the Cave-In, so we will do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 goes back to the bank. 2 for surprise attack that we used in the Commandos turn, so 2 of those go back to the bank, and 2 for clone flankers. And that is our dashboard refresh. Now we have 9 adrenaline tokens, 9 adrenaline to spend, and the Overseer, realizing that trying to spawn anything with that trip mine on the board is probably suicidal, so not going to bother doing anything. That's going to basically be the end of the Overseer's turn. Very short, very sweet. We are now banking. We're going to keep the 9 adrenaline in our pool, and we're going to go very quickly now right back into the Commandos turn and see what they're going to do. So when last we left off with the Commandos, our reconnaissance specialist managed to get into the office, download the data, planted a very strategically well done trip mine right here near the vent, stopping the Overseer from bothering to spend a whole bunch of adrenaline trying to spawn anything. And now we're going to take a look at the Commandos cards and see what turn order they're going to go in and which stance they've chosen this time. So let's have a look. So now we'll take a look at our Commandos and what stances they're using and in what order they're going to use their turns this time. So I'm going to have the Rifleman go first, Reconnaissance Specialist second, Team Leader third. The Reconnaissance Specialist this time, I'm going to have him use the Sneak stance card, and it means he has Stealth. And you can re-roll 1 die for attacks against targets that do not have line of sight to you. So if he's shooting at somebody and the target that he is aiming at doesn't have line of sight to him, he gets to re-roll a die on an attack. And now the Rifleman is going to use Cautious Advance. He moves slower, but he can probably bank some of his adrenaline to possibly shoot at something that spawns or moves in the other room or comes towards them. And the Team Leader is going to be using his Commanding skill, which gives the other Commandos a +1 black die on attacks. So the next thing we need to do is take up all this adrenaline that the Commandos have used last time and give it over to the Overseer. So we'll go and we'll do that now. So the first thing we need to do at the beginning of the round when the Commandos go to activate is move the timer. So the timer is now going from 3 to 4. Now that we've moved the timer, we have taken all the adrenaline that the Commandos used on their last turn, and we'll be passing that over to the Overseer, which now has a total, I believe, of 18 adrenaline to spend on the next Overseer turn, which again is a lot. And at the beginning of the Commando phase, which is now, the trip mine marker comes off the map and goes back onto the card. So now we're going to take a look at, we said the Rifleman will be going first. So what I'm going to do with the Rifleman is the first thing I'm going to do is have him move. So he spends 1 adrenaline. And he can only move 2 spaces with his Cautious Advance, so he's going to go 1 and move his 1 diagonal to here. So I think I'm going to have him move 1 more time. So that will be 1 more adrenaline going on to him for a total of 2 of his 6, and he's going to move 1, 2 right up to the door. And I will now have his little sentry drone move. It has 2 actions. I will have it move 4, so it will move 1 diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I will have it pivot this way. And I'm going to have it go into guard mode. And I will put a little marker onto the sentry drone. So it is in guard mode. And remember, it has a 360-degree arc that it can fire in. So anything that comes popping out of this vent, it will be able to have a shot at it. Now I have faced the Rifleman. Actually, I am going to have the Rifleman, facing this way at the end of his last movement. So if anything spawns here, he will also possibly be able to shoot at it. That actually makes more sense. And now second up is going to be the Reconnaissance Specialist, and he is in Sneak mode. He has 4 adrenaline to spend, and the first thing I'm going to have him do is move, costing 1 adrenaline, goes onto his sheet. He can move 3 spaces, so I'm going to have him move out of the office 1, 2, and 3. And the next thing I'm going to do is have him move once more. 1 more adrenaline, put it onto his card, 2, total of 4, and he will now move his first diagonal, 1, 2, 3. So he moves up right to the door. So now we're going to spend 1 adrenaline, and we're going to have the recon specialist open the door. So here we are opening the door. And we find that this is just an unlocked door. So again, we'll put it back in place in case we spawn things in the room. And now we have to check and see what is in this room. And we do go by priority order. The first card we have in the room is clear. Now these are put in the game to as a placeholder in objective card rooms so that there's equal number of cards in each room whether there's an objective or not. So there's no objective in this room. And the next card we get is faulty intel. It says flip over the faulty intel tile of this room. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this entire tile and it gets flipped over to its other side and then put back in place. So basically the Commandos did not have the proper information for this place. And what this symbol means is anytime a clone is spawned in this room, you get to add one for free. And because this is one of the objective rooms and there was no objective in it, one of these alien spawn points appear, and it appears here according to this particular mission's rules. So aliens now can spawn at this entry point. And also in the room we have a recon patrol, which is 2 rogue clones and 1 warrior clone. So we will take the 2 rogue clones and a warrior clone and we'll put them in this room. So I'm going to have the warrior clone back here behind cover, and I'm going to actually take the rogue clones and put them sort of way over here so nobody can easily get to them this turn. Now the room is everything from this whole space all the way up to this other doorway. So I think I'm going to have the 2 rogue clones back here. So that is the activation of the room, and that was our recon specialist. Now we can remove the door marker, it goes away. And our recon specialist only has 1 adrenaline left to spend, so I'm going to leave him there. And next up we're going to be moving our team leader, who's sitting right here. And now it's the team leader's turn, and I'm going to spend 1 adrenaline for him to do a move action. I'll put that on his card. He has a total of 5 adrenaline this turn. He's going to move 2 spaces in his commanding ability, 1 diagonal, 2, and I'm going to move him 1 more time so that he will be adjacent to other commandos when it is the overseer's turn. So I'm just going to have him move 1, 2 straight up here. So that will, and that leaves him 3 adrenaline, which is okay. I don't want to give the overseer too many more adrenaline. We have some clones now spawned in the big room. We have a vent here with our sentry drone guarding. We have our rifleman facing this way, also sort of in guard mode. And that will conclude the commando's turn. Next time, the overseer has 18 adrenaline to spend, and he has a vent. He also has an entry point now. So things could get much more interesting for the overseer coming up in the next turn, so join me next time. Again, thanks for watching along. Thanks for subscribing and or liking the video. And I will be putting up another one shortly. Thank you very much.